Good amount of attendance. It's always good to see. Ooh. What is all that? Ooh, death icicles at the top. Meeting shouldn't be starting yet. Oh, yes, of course.
Hi, good evening, everyone, and welcome to the February 4th Lagrange Town Board meeting. Can everyone please rise for the pledge?
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
If you could all please remain standing for a moment of silence for those who can no longer be with us and those that are serving and protecting us both here and abroad. Thank you. Please be seated. All right. Welcome, everyone. Madam Clerk, can you please do a roll call?
Mr. Ryan? Ms. Condon? Here. Supervisor?
Here.
Mr. T. and Gross?
Grassa here.
And then Ms.
Okay, thank you. Before we begin, we had something that came in last minute today. So you all should have it. Basically, it's a request for a public hearing for a community development block grant. So I'd like to make a motion to amend the agenda by adding the request for the public hearing for the CDBG grant.
Motion.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Okay, thank you very much. So we're going to add that to the agenda. For our minutes, do I have a motion to accept the minutes from the January 21st, 2026 meeting? Motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Okay, motion passed. Thank you. For correspondence, we don't have any. So we're going to move on to our supervisor comments. Okay. I would like to begin by thanking our community for the way everyone came together during the major snowstorm we experienced recently. While the storm was certainly impactful, our town did not encounter any major issues. Our roads were continuously and carefully maintained, and our residents were mindful of parking, garbage cans, and road conditions. This cooperation allowed our staff to work productively and, most importantly, safely, while keeping our roads clean and passable. I want to give special recognition to the Highway Superintendent, John Wisman, and the dedicated staff of the Highway and Parks Department. Their coordination, hard work, and commitment were outstanding. They do fantastic work for our town, and we are very grateful for their efforts. This month, I also attended a monthly meeting with the mayors and supervisors in the town of Wappinger. These meetings provided valuable opportunity to engage with local leaders and learn from one another. While we all represent towns, cities, and villages that may be uniquely different, we share many of the same challenges. So coming together allows us to share ideas, talent, and experience. And I find that these discussions are both informative and beneficial. I truly enjoy participating and will continue to bring back what I learned to our town as we work to improve each and every day. A major topic of discussion was EMS services, the rising costs, and finding ways to help improve services throughout the county that's struggling. Additionally, I've been actively working with our Director of Parks and Recreation, Sandy Washburn, identifying and pursuing grant opportunities for our town. In my short time here, I've begun the process of applying for 2 grants that can help support future infrastructure projects. My long-term goal is to continue educating ourselves and the board and identifying key areas where grant funding may be applicable and beneficial. If we are successful, these grants can help ease financial burdens and directly benefit our residents. This is a positive step forward, and I will continue to work hard on behalf of our entire community. Lastly, I met with Legislator Emma Arnoff, Legislator Mike Polisek, Deputy Supervisor Susan Condon, Fire Chief Champion, and Commissioner Komarski for a very productive discussion. Collectively, our priority is to continue strengthening communication between multiple levels of government and to ensure that public safety is and will always remain a top priority for our residents. This meeting marks a new beginning toward a more collaborative, transparent, and effective approach to government, one that works together to carefully plan for the future and protect our community. I'm grateful to everyone who attended and look forward to continuing these important conversations. Oh, thank you. All right, so moving forward, so this next portion here is the public comment. So a reminder, this is for agenda items only. So whatever you see on the agenda, we welcome you to come up and speak. We respectfully ask that you keep your comments to 3 minutes or less. Do I have a motion to open the public comment for agenda items only? Motion second? Second. All in favor? Aye. Okay, great, thank you. All right, so again, this moment is if you want to speak to anything on this agenda, you're welcome to come up, please. Peter, come on up, sir.
Hi, good evening. Peter Turok, 100 Memory Trail. Two things I see in the agenda questions on the bid award for the RFP for video recordings. Do you have any update of a timeline of when you'll be able to start broadcasting?
It's a great question. So my priority is, this is a priority for me that I want to get these meetings up and running ASAP. So the goal here tonight, we received 2 bids. We're going to discuss, and we'd like to take action tonight to award that bid. And from my understanding, I heard from one company, the second company I did not, but the goal would be, I think we can get this up and running within a couple of weeks.
Okay. I would like to say for the record, I'm very eager to get it up and running because right now it's being recorded live and put on a website, a YouTube channel that purports to be an official Lagrange community news, which is not an official town site. So I'm very eager to see the live video come up officially. Second question I have is on the functional classification changes at the end on Arthur'sburg Road, Knoxon Road. From what I can understand, they're changing the classification from FC17 Urban Major Collector to FC16 Urban Minor Arterial. From what I can see, and I don't quite understand it, but that's because of the increased traffic, I'm assuming?
So when we received this letter, I received this letter, I called and asked the same questions. From what I've seen here, it looks like the previous supervisor signed this letter, I don't know if it was in 2024 or 2025. The document should be in here. So I asked the same question, we previously signed this, you're asking me to sign it basically. Yeah, they like to just have future supervisors sign as well. I asked them what it does, by stating this classification, if there's any changes. They said for the county's purpose, specifically the Department of Transportation Council, it is a classification because certain roads may have more traffic, etc. So for the purpose for them, this is how they're essentially classifying it. But yes, as a urban major collector to a minor arterial, essentially signifies that there is more traffic and stuff like that, yes.
Okay, thanks. And then 2 abbreviations. I understand AADT, average annual daily traffic, I believe, but I saw something else in there, HV percentage. Do you know what that is?
Do you know what page that is, Peter?
I don't. Hold on. No, I don't.
Oh, AADT and HV percentage of facility and connecting parallel facilities.
And I just saw HB percent somewhere associated with the traffic numbers. I can get that from you later.
Yeah, that would be great.
Okay,
Please, yeah.
thank you.
Thank you. Would anyone else like to come up and speak on anything on the agenda? Yes, please come on up.
David Machia, Town of Lagrange. I see that on the agenda it is February 4th, and I believe we owe you a happy birthday.
Yeah.
So,
Thank
happy
you.
birthday, Mr.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that, Jay. Roy, come on up.
Heavy vehicle, the HV is heavy vehicle percentage. for
Heavy
percentile,
vehicle?
Heavy vehicle.
Thank you.
Thank you, Roy. Appreciate that.
Google's wonderful.
Thank you, Google.
All right. Would anyone else like to speak on anything from the agenda? No? All right. Do I have a motion to close the public comment on agenda items only? Motion. Do I have a second? All in favor? Aye. Okay, great. Thank you. All right, so let's get started here. All right, so the first item on the agenda is the consideration of bid award for RFP for video recordings of meetings. This one is really important. To create greater transparency for our community, we wanted to make sure that this was a priority. We had to go through the process. So you have to go through an RFP for a certain amount of days. You allow companies to put in bids. We received 2. That's all attached, all the paperwork. The board, as I'm sure, has been studying and looking at, what you think and pros and cons. I've been looking at it as well. I guess I'll give you my take on it, what I see. First and foremost, I think the biggest thing is affordability, making sure that whatever decision you make, the cost associated with that. So we have a couple of options that I think could be beneficial for us. And I think the approach is a little conservative, and then you can always grow into adding on down the road. Both companies, both Video Venture and MJM, they both offer what's called a portable option. So essentially what that means is they bring the cameras here on site. It's nothing that would be installed. When you look into that, one company has a fee of charging $300 to create a YouTube page. They categorize it in 4 playlists. So those playlists essentially are town board, planning board, zoning board, and then the 4th playlist would be like maybe general town events, community day or something like that if we do stuff for the parks. The other company doesn't charge anything for the creation of the YouTube page. Video Venture, you have to purchase a camera and a tripod, and I think it's $250 per meeting. And MJM, they can bring their cameras, and it's $275 per meeting. So just by looking at it from this perspective, I think that the cheapest and easiest way to get this going and get our meetings up right away is to go portable. And then certainly I think it would make sense for us as a board to look at other opportunities of monies on how we could perhaps acquire equipment long-term if we wanted to do something like that, whether it was through grant funding, whether it was through your franchisee agreement with the communication companies, things that opportunities I think will come up eventually, but I don't want to wait. I think it's so important that we got to get these meetings up and running. There's a lot of things going on, and it's really important to me, and I know how important it is to our community. So just off of this, my opinion, I think we should go portable. Certainly, if you guys want to bring in some comments, what you see, what you think, or so you're thinking, yeah.
Yeah, with the technology changing constantly, I think portable is the way to go.
Yeah.
Maybe we save some money.
It's definitely an approach where we can get going right away. We don't have to wait weeks or months. And then certainly throughout the year, again, we keep our eyes open, we look for opportunities, and then eventually if we decide we want to do more, we can do more. What's nice is that also we can do community events. So whether it's Community Day or Fall Festival or the Festival of Lights, these huge celebrations that we all come together as a community, it would be nice to have them on film and so people can share those memories. So for me at least, I think I like the idea of going with MJM. They bring everything, so there's essentially no upfront cost. We just pay the meeting fee. I think that's a great idea, personally. So yeah, I'll make a motion to award MJM with that agreement. Second. All in favor? Aye. Okay, great. Resolution passed. All right, so very exciting. We'll get these meetings up and running and live, and everybody will be able to see it from the home. Especially in the winter, not everybody can be here with the weather and events in general. So I think it's a great addition. Right, so that's done. Okay, the next one is the consideration of a 30-day advance notice for a liquor license renewal for Tito's Kitchen. I think the town board sees several of these a year. It's pretty simple. Do I have a motion to accept this?
Motion.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, passed. Okay, the next one is a request of use of Freedom Park Pavilion and fee waiver for big band sound. Do you all have an opportunity to go through that? Do you have a motion?
Motion, yes.
Second? Town board discussion? Everyone's okay?
Yep.
All right. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, resolution passed. Okay, the next one is a consideration of a request from the Parks and Recreation Director for an approval of a contract with Fuel for Life. This is for the Freedom Lake concession stand. They do a phenomenal job. They've been there before. They work very cleanly. Everyone's very happy. Do I have a motion to accept?
Motion.
Do I have a second? Town board discussion? All in favor? Aye. Okay, resolution passed. Thank you. Okay, this next agenda item, just to give you kind of a history of this. So historically, year over year, the Union Park employees designate a holiday schedule. The town board has approved this in the past. This year, they've made it so that it's essentially, this is to amend the holiday schedule for the park union staff. This will be changed moving forward indefinitely. So do I have a motion to accept?
Motion.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Town board discussion?
No.
All in favor? Aye. Okay, resolution passed. Thank you. All right. This is another really important one. Again, I think something that's really important for me is doing everything we can do to create public transparency, educate our residents, awareness, things that are going on. Recording the meetings is step one. Step two is software to manage planning, zoning, Board of Appeals matters. Basically what this is we're going to look for software. This software will essentially put on our website all the current projects that are in front of the planning board. Can you all hear me? Is this mic working? Okay. So it would put all the projects that are currently in front of the planning board. You'll have access to look in more depth of these projects from home. A lot of times, residents, they'll be asking questions, or they'll hear about something that could be a project that was going on for 5 years, and maybe just people don't know. And I think that there's a lot we can do to get that information out. So for me, this is really important, and what I'm asking for is a consideration of issuance of RFP for software to manage planning and zoning board of appeals matters and enhance public transparency. Do I have a motion? Do I have a second?
Second.
Town board discussion? All in favor? Aye. Great. Resolution passed. Thank you. All right, the next one is we're going to go to school to learn here. So this is a consideration of approval from the town board to authorize the attendance to the 2026 Annual Associations of Towns Meeting and Training School on February 15th through the 17th. So we attached in the packet the event attendance request for all the members of the town board that wish to go. As a newly elected official, I think it would be very beneficial. There's a lot of seminars, vendors, etc., a lot of important information, knowledge that we can bring back to the town. So I'm personally really excited to go. Do I have a motion to accept?
Motion.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Town board discussion? All in favor? Aye? Okay, great. Resolution passed. Thank you. We're going to school. All right. So the next one, Mr. Churoff commented on this, but I'll reiterate as well. This is a consideration to accept the functional classification changes to CR 21 Knoxon Road, CR 33 Arthur'sburg Road, and CR 42 Arthur'sburg Road as specified and recommended by Dutchess County Transportation Council in a letter dated January 16, 2026. So basically, I'm asking the board to approve this, to give me the opportunity to sign for it. So do I have a motion?
Motion.
Second? Town board discussion. All in favor? Aye. Great, resolution passed. And let's see, we got one more. All right, so the last one, I'll give you an update on. So this is from our highway superintendent, John Wisman. We would like to request approval to purchase a utility body for installation on our 2022 Ram 3500. Our current utility truck, which is a 2004 Ford F-450, has undergone extensive repairs over the years and is now requiring significant additional work to remain safe and roadworthy. Continued investments in this vehicle is no longer cost effective, and I can say that we're very lucky for the mechanics that we have in the highway department. They do tremendous work. They save the town tens of thousands of dollars. They save the taxpayers a lot of money. So we greatly appreciate that. The highway superintendent is recommending sending the 2004 Ford F-450 to auction while it still has resale value, and replacing it by installing utility body in-house on our 2022 Ram 3500. This will provide a safer, more reliable solution and reduce ongoing repair costs. Do I have a motion of consideration of highway equipment purchase request?
Motion.
Do I have a second? Town board discussion? No. All in favor? Aye. Resolution passed. Yes.
Is that the public hearing?
Madam Clerk, would you like me to make a motion for the? Okay. All right. So we spoke about this earlier in the beginning of the meeting. This is for a request for a public hearing CDBG grant. We got in time on this. It was, it was hard because the deadline was so quick, but we worked really hard, Sandy and I, and we made the deadline, so we wanted to make sure that we were able to have a public hearing. So I need a motion to hold a public hearing at Town Hall on February 18th, 2026 at 7:00 p.m. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Passed. Thank you so much. Thank you, Shane. All right, so now we're gonna head out to liaison reports. Councilman Ryan, do you have an update for us on open space and CAC?
Yeah, I met with Aaron Hovland again.
Just keep talking to the microphone.
Sorry.
I met with Aaron Hoagland again out in Millbrook and went over what we can do for get more open space. She has right now we have one farm we're looking at right now. We're on Roundabout Road, and we have two more that are interested, and so we're just waiting for everyone to get up on that. And then on another topic, I spoke with George Wade and Georgia Harrington, looking at putting old pictures up on the town hall walls, looking through all of everything that we have. And then I also spoke with Albany about some grants. Right now we had the one that Anthony just got. He just made on deadline on the 4th. But I talked to John Gold, and they actually have a team that works on getting it. It's $5,000 to hire them for the year.
they get 48% of the grants that they put out. Actually have a meeting with him on the phone tomorrow, and he's gonna go over everything again, and then I'll have more information at the next meeting.
Great. Thank you, Councilman Ryan. Let's see, Councilman John Grasso, Recreation, do you have an update for us?
Yes, our meeting is gonna happen in about a week or so, that we all meet, but Sandy and I met last week to talk about the 250th birthday that we're doing, for the Lagrange residents. So that's on its way. The date, if you guys, everybody wants to write it down, it's July 25th at Freedom Park. And the band has been already booked. Thanks to Sandy, she got a really good band called the Red Barn Band. And if you haven't heard of them, they're great. They're very, very good. Only thing we're working on now is sponsorships. We're trying to get sponsorships to cover the band, cover the food, cover the whole event. So if anybody out in the audience wants to sponsor, you can come see myself or Sandy. Okay, and that's what we're doing right now. Thank you.
County carburetor, what?
Yeah.
That's great. And actually, getting back to Councilman Ryan, we should have on the agenda on the 18th.
Aaron.
Yeah, they're
Yes,
coming
yes, he is.
in reference to a conservation farm, which is in Lagrange as well. So
Yes.
it's very good.
And
And
Okay.
Councilwoman Robin is not here tonight, so we don't have an update on building and zoning. So that concludes our liaison reports. This next opportunity for our town attorney. Do we have any new business that's not listed on the agenda?
Thank you, Mr. Supervisor. Just two items that we've discussed. The first is the town has a municipal cooperation agreement with 5 other municipalities regarding an animal control officer. And we've been working on some amendments to it. It was discussed last year. It was never actually adopted by the town board. So supervisor's gone back with my assistance. We've made some changes to it to frankly make it a little bit more fair for the town of Lagrange, based on the fact that the animal control officers are an employee. So we're working on that, and I know you discussed that at your meeting with the supervisors last night. So we're working on that. Hopefully that'll be on the agenda soon. So that's one item. And then there is another item. It's a local law that we've been working on that would allow for a waiver under certain circumstances, hardship circumstances, that would allow someone not to connect to a public sewer. So they'd be able to have a septic instead of a public sewer connection. So it's just something we've circulated, not on the agenda yet. Not sure if the board wants to consider it, but I know the supervisor and I have circulated that to the board for you guys to review and consider. And if we'd like to introduce it at some point, either as I've circulated or with amendments, we can do that. But those are the only two items.
Thank you, Shane. All right, so the next, before we begin the public comment, just a friendly reminder, try to keep your comments to 3 minutes or less. Do I have a motion to open the public comment?
Motion.
Have a second?
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Okay, great, thank you. If anybody in the public would like to come up and speak, Sandy, come on up.
Sandy Washburn, Parks and Recreation Director. I just wanted to add to Councilman Jim Grosso's comments in reference to Freedom 250, in that one of my highest goals is to partner with our community organizations. So I'm in the process of doing outreach to our Rotary Club, the Lions Club, the Historical Society. We have already mentioned it to the Lagrange Library. It's going to be incredibly important to us, our department, and also as a municipality, that those organizations that are also the heart and soul of this community are part of that event. So any way that they want to partner with us, and I'm not talking about their money, I am talking about their presence and displays and just so much that they can bring to the experience that day for our community. So I just want to mention that.
Excellent, thank you, Sandy, thank you very much. Legislator Arnold?
Everybody.
Hello.
Thank you, Supervisor Marinaro, for being here with us on your birthday. We
Thank you.
appreciate it. I really appreciate you speaking about our meeting earlier today and about the critical importance of transparency. And I was happy to hear about the RFP software to enhance transparency with the planning board. That being said, I am here to express a need for more transparency when it comes to development. I have been following the Town Center project and what is going on with that, including going to the planning board public meeting and meeting with the fire department and others, and listening to constituents who have expressed multitude of concerns, from traffic to public safety to the impact on our schools to the impact on our community and town. Everyone who shared issues has one common frustration, and that is that there was a lack of transparency. People do not feel like they knew this project was coming. They do not feel like they knew the size of the project, how it was going to impact them, how it was going to impact our community. And most surprisingly, I have learned that the fire department was not included in this transparency. When we have development come into our community, where we, take our public safety so seriously here in Lagrange and have an incredible fire department, to think that we are doing these, huge developments without them having not only a say, but a seat at the table, to me is very problematic. We need to include them in all of the development we're doing, because the developers coming into our community, I'm not anti-development. It's a great thing. We definitely need more commercial things here, right? Like, we need some restaurants and some bars. I need somewhere to hang out. I'm not saying I don't want that, right? But I am saying is, if we don't include the fire department in this, what ends up happening is we're making these developments that we are not equipped to handle. And the burden falls on the taxpayer when there are things that the fire department needs, like a ladder truck and staff for a ladder truck. And I imagine the commissioner will say this much more eloquently than me, but I think this is critical. We need better support for our fire department in general, and as developers come in, we can take advantage of that and say, we want you here. How are you going to make sure we're set up for this? How are you going to help our town be set up so that we can continue to grow? And I think overall this really gets back to the point of transparency, right? The fire department needs to be included, constituents need to know what's happening. We all need to be a part of this process. We all need a say in the future of our town. And as we let this all come in, let's do it together collaboratively in a way that takes care of us and the people that are here, and welcomes in whoever's coming, for these new developments, communities, all things. So thank you for your time. I appreciate it.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Would anyone else like to?
Yeah, just a quick thing.
Dave, sure, come on up.
So Dave Siegel, Clover Hill Drive. I echo what Emma said, and I agree with her. I do think that this software is a good step in the right direction with this. And also going with the portable approach on video conferencing, excellent idea, completely for that. So, good. The one thing I am going to bring up is you were talking about sponsorships.
Yes.
And last year, I know I sponsored them. I mean, I did too. A community day, which was great, and I had a great time there. It was really well done. I sent a message to Sandy telling her how much I enjoyed it. It would be nice if we're going to do a big sponsorship. I know that this is something that was phased out a while ago. I don't know exactly the circumstances about it, but for someone who's say a political candidate, right? It would be nice to be able to just have a table with stuff on it, not campaigning, okay? I know you don't like this, but not campaigning, not actively doing anything, just sitting there, okay? If anybody wants to get the information, they're more than welcome to get it. If they don't want to talk, they don't have to talk. We're not going to be walking around, we're not going to be bothering, or at least I'm not going to be bothering people. And it would be just a nice thing to be able to do if we're going to, I want to be able to support the town. It would be nice just to have a place to sit down and have my stuff.
Okay.
That's all.
Thank you.
All right, thanks.
Thank you.
Can I comment on that quickly? Very electric. Dave, I do completely understand. I'm a former county legislator, so I understand where you're coming from. I will tell you a little bit of history briefly of why that went away, because we had people who would protest. We had people who would cause major problems on Community Day. The decision ended up being, and it wasn't my decision alone, I was part of the discussion, that it be only the board members, then not political campaign teams from any, party, and that just allowed those who are in office. Now, I will tell you that people do aggressively pass out their information, bring trucks with huge banners on it and all the things to Community Day, and we let that be what it is. We let that happen. So we don't stop people, many times they're in our photographs. We cover our event thoroughly, but that is the history of it. Now, this board may choose to do something different, but I can tell you that no one should have to deal with, not anyone attending first and foremost, but certainly not any person working, the extent we work to put off a beautiful day for the community, have to deal with people who are protesting because different organizations are at a table. And that is where that came from. So I just wanted to share.
Please come on up, sir. Sorry, Mark.
Good evening, everybody. My name's David McCoach. I'd like to give you an update on my neighbor's status and myself. Sarah Davis came out and inspected the garbage along the property line. She came out with a New York State trooper because she was afraid of this neighbor that I have, from apparently things that she has heard about this guy. She took pictures of the garbage and debris along the property line. She asked me what was this garbage on my side of the fence. I said, my neighbor throws his garbage over. She said, well, it's kind of obvious, but I have to cite you as well for a violation. I said, you're kidding me, right? She says, no, I have no idea that your neighbor threw that crap over on you. I said, well, I have two people that can give you affidavits where they saw him throw it over. But she said, I'm not a law officer, I'm not a judge, so I'm going to have to cite you. So here's the citation that I got. Now, we've had a lot of snow. I hired a guy to help me. We shoveled the path down along the property line. You're talking, over 100 feet by hand. Picked up all this crap and garbage, hauled it out through the damn snow. It's on the back of my pickup truck. If you want to go outside right now, not show you all this crap. Now I gotta pay that guy I hired, and I gotta pay to get rid of this in Poughkeepsie. As far as my neighbor, he has done nothing. According to this note, if he doesn't clean it up in 10 days, he's liable for jail time or a $250 fine. Right here in black and white. He's done nothing. The floodlights still shoot into my house. I don't have to turn a light on in my kitchen, or my living room, my foyer, or my driveway from these floodlights. I've been dealing with this guy for 10 years now. My other neighbors have dealt with this guy, but they're scared, like Sarah Davis, to say a damn word, because he's threatened to kill us all. He's threatened to do all kinds of other stuff that I don't want to put on record. But that's called freedom of speech. He spat in my face. He's bit my thumb at him when he was punching at me. I grabbed his hand. He's thrown wood at me. I've had black and blue pictures of my leg where he's hit me with a 2x6 with nails in it. A 2x6 with nails in it. I am totally disgusted with our justice system because I've gotten nowhere with the state police or the sheriff's department. I said to District Attorney Anthony Parisi, what's this guy got to do? Kill somebody before you guys do something? I said, because he's threatened me a number of times. He's threatened to rape my wife and kill her. As you can see, 10 years is built up. I'm done. And I've already spent $18,000 already on legal fees, court fees, but now I got a guy that doesn't fool around. The state troopers don't want to be bothered with neighborly problems. This guy is a good man, and he's going to help me and support me 100% till something gets done. And I don't care how much it costs the town with lawyer fees, because I am not stopping. Not stopping. And unfortunately, it has come to this point because Mr. Bell did nothing. The state troopers do nothing. Like I said, sheriff does nothing. And as far as freedom of speech, I never heard of such freedom of speech in my life, where you can threaten to kill somebody, rape his wife, throw all kinds of garbage on my property, give me all kinds of hand gestures, and I can't do nothing. I am going to do something about this garbage, or I'm going to have you do it for me. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Please, yeah, come on.
It's a tough one to follow. And if it's where I think it is, I have seen videos of this neighbor burning garbage, and I think their fence may be this high in the flames or way beyond sight. But what I really wanted to comment on was, as you know, I've been filming and coming to these board meetings for over 4 years now. And I'm very familiar with our town code. Even our 1988 code references the town center. So this is a project that's 40 years old. I don't know if the fire department was talked with or brought in to weigh in on it back then. And not to say anything bad about what was said before, but since I've been coming to these meetings, the one thing I've always heard in planning board meetings is, can a fire truck get up that driveway? Mr. Komorski was always representing the fire department in the planning board meetings. He was always putting in there, getting value for them and making sure that these projects were safe, that cul-de-sacs were big enough to turn around in. I think it's like a 20-foot 20-foot paved in every driveway so they can make a turnaround. I mean, big projects, small projects, I always heard that in every single one. It was almost comical because I was just waiting for him to do it. So I just want to let you know, in the past, and it'd be great to see him there again, but the fire department was, at least in the last few years that I saw, they were quite involved.
Thank you. Thank you. Commissioner, yes?
I'm Mark Komorski, Commissioner of Lagrange Fire. I don't know if that was a compliment or not, I hope it was.
It was.
Thank you. And Mr. Supervisor, you brought up our meeting earlier today, just to keep the audience involved and the commissioner, the council people that were not there. I mentioned in our first meeting that you had of the year that we were requesting a standpipe code. And I just want everybody to know, and the council people know, that we submitted today at the meeting to the supervisor a standpipe code for the attorney to review, as well as an updated sprinkler code, internal sprinkler code from New York State. So I just wanted to put that out there and let everybody know it didn't fall off the table, and they have it as of this morning. So
Thank you, Commissioner. Thank you very much.
thank you, David.
Commissioner, yes? Another commissioner, come on up. How are you, Jeff?
Good, how are you tonight? Happy birthday.
Thank you.
Just so everybody understands, I'm Jeff Kaiser. I obviously live in the town. I'm the newest fire board member, but no disrespect to the past fire board. They did their job. Mark does a great job what he does. Just so you guys understand, with Mark going to the planning board, stuff like that, he is bringing ideas to the planning board and the developers, but he's bringing ideas. The deep-seated, the stuff that really needs to go on is done by the chief staff. Chief staff and the officers are the ones that decide what. I'm a commissioner now, past firefighter for 33 years, but I'm not going to step in that role of saying what the chief staff needs to fight that fire in that building. That's their responsibility. And that's where the lack of transparency was. Mark's doing his best. He did a great job at it, making sure he advocated for the fire department. But in the past, the fire district is not involved in the really gritty stuff of what's going on. And I spoke about this in the last meetings with the town development in the town center. Again, no one's, me, myself, the board, I'll speak for both. No one's against the development. Again, I live here. I'm not for or against it. I just want it done the right way. But somebody made a comment one day and they said, well, why isn't everybody more outraged about the town center? And I think that's the problem, because it's been going on for 25, 30 years.
40.
And it's on the back burner, because every time you ask someone, it's never gonna happen, it's never gonna happen. But the little steps kept moving forward, and there were little steps, and they just kept moving forward, and no one's fault because they approved it so long ago, so it's been going forward. So that's, why people aren't outraged as much, and people aren't involved, because it's just slowly moved around. I don't think it's fair for the town board, or the planning board to adopt a project, is my personal opinion. It's not fair to adopt a project, to say, yes, you can go ahead with that project, and then 30 years later build something. And there's other projects in the town that this has happened with. It takes so long, as a builder, the way I understand it, you can step back and not move forward with the project. And I think part of the other problem with this project, Town Center, is, I think back in the day when they started it, we'll use the Eastdale concept. The Eastdale concept was not around. No one was building Eastdales, all right? Well, it took so long for the project to develop, now it's an Eastdale project. So now it's this big booming project with a 3-story building when it was not gonna be that from the beginning. I'm sure that's not the concept, 30 years ago that was gonna be built, and now that's what's being built, so now that's what's going on. So we have to, as the fire department, have to be involved more. And again, I've said this, and I'll say this as a commissioner, we get left behind all the time. And then people will complain, oh geez, my taxes went up, and why does the fire department need all this stuff? There's well-documented cases with chiefs speaking at town councils all around the country with these battery plants. All these people want to bring battery storage areas in, and they say, right, on all these town meetings, we can't do it. We don't have the manpower or the capability to fight these fires with these batteries. But it's the same, everything is moving forward, and the fire department is still back here. So when they build, I don't care if it's 150 development housing unit or 100 unit housing or low-income housing, anything that's being built affects the fire department greatly. So if we have to buy more equipment, where's that money coming from? We can't get it from the tax base all the time. We're not getting that much money from the tax base, and we have no other income. So that's why I think it's the concern of the fire districts that we are involved and that we're in the process of this, so we can keep up with what the demands of the town growth is, and that we're not getting hurt by it. And then in the long run, I think Mark would agree that then the taxpayers are going to get hurt because we can't afford to keep up with it. If we have to buy a new truck or something, special equipment to fight fires for a battery, a storage facility, where's that come from? These guys, again, I'm all for development, they can make their money, but we're spending money that we don't have to try to keep up with these guys building. So I don't know if that Mark has anything.
Thank you,
to put in on
Commissioner.
that. All right. Thank you. And again, we're very open too. If anybody has any questions, talk to the commissioners anytime. We're more than happy to speak to anybody. All right, thank you.
Would anyone else? Yes, Mr. Luna, please come on up.
I've been to a lot of meetings, and what has happened now with the town center is unbelievable. There's all kinds of misinformation going on out there, and it's coming from what are considered important people. Nobody's talked about, the town center was never going to be as large as East Park, or Eastdale. It just never was that big. It was a small area which was going to bring tax dollars to the town. Immediately, the equipment we're going to need before we get the tax dollars, that's true, and that's something that has to be worked out. But that's workable. To stand here and say that you're for the project, or not for the project, or for the project, and then knock it, doesn't make sense to me. There's lots of information out there about what the town center is headed for. You have 2 giant loose leaf books in your office that explain the whole thing. If the people want to come in and look at them, they should be allowed to. At least now they have information enough to speak intelligently about it. Because there was an article in the paper that Lagrange Town Center is going to be bigger than Eastdale, which is ridiculous.
It is bigger. It's true.
It is.
635
That's not
units.
true.
Yeah,
Yes, it is.
check the stats, it's true.
Check the acreage in Eastdale and check the acreage in the town of LaGrange.
61
From town
acres in
center.
Eastdale, 194 in LaGrange Town Center, 430
And
dwellings.
there are no
608
four-story
dwellings.
buildings.
There's three though.
Just respectfully,
Yeah,
yeah,
I'm
sorry.
sorry.
We'll just, yeah, let Mr.
You wanna
Luna
talk
speak.
with me? I will talk with you about it,
No.
but if I'm talking
Yeah,
to
okay.
everybody, it's kind of rude
Gotcha.
for you to be jumping in.
I'm sorry.
I didn't jump in when you were
You
saying
didn't.
something.
I thank you.
We have to think about it. It's something that has to really be studied again. All these laws are there. You want to read the laws that are on the books that show you it's nowhere near what Eastdale is. It's a community area so that all the businesses and industrial kinds of, not industrial, commercial areas that's going to take place, that won't be and scattered, which will be worse, I think it's always worse, is you scatter these little malls around 55 and 82, because those are the main roads, and the town starts to look like maybe a million other towns in the country that are awful. This was planned. It was planned not only by, in fact, it wasn't even planned by the developer. It was planned by the,
Sorry to interrupt, Joe, just try to wrap it up.
okay, the county was involved. There was a school, college, their department came in and spoke with us about it and gave us some very good ideas. There are articles about it that are the way we're headed, the direction that's headed. If you don't want any development in town, that's something else. But if you want monies to come into the town, to pay your school taxes, to pay your fire taxes, this was going to help. It's not something that came out of the blue and we're copying somebody. It's something that was done when very few of these projects were being understood.
Thank you, Mr. Luna. Thank you. Dave, I'm just gonna give this gentleman first. Sorry.
It's okay.
Good evening.
Good evening, town board. Happy birthday, Mr.
Thank you.
Supervisor. My name's Evan Menace. I'm a city councilman in the city of Poughkeepsie. And I'm just joining you tonight to speak on behalf of some of your residents that I've spoken with, and also in support of County Legislator Harnoff and many of the residents who've spoken about the town center project. Clearly it's a really important and difficult decision for the town planning board to make. I just want to speak about a couple of things, and I'm seeing Rebecca Bach, who's our City of Poughkeepsie Corporation Counsel, so I didn't know you were sitting behind me. Good evening, Corporation Counsel, great to see you here. I just wanted to speak as someone who has served in my fourth term now on the City Council, and also who has worked as an urban planner earlier in my career, and just to say to you, be extremely cautious with some of the impacts that are brought in with these types of developments. I want to mention specifically about the costs that can be incurred, especially for your public safety with the fire department. I know that's been discussed, ad nauseum, and I'm sure will continue to be discussed. But what I really want to bring up is, in the city of Poughkeepsie, we had a project that was approved over 30 years ago under a previous town plan. It was a large development on a large undeveloped parcel on the waterfront of the city of Poughkeepsie. The developer got a big pilot to do the project, and yes, I respect the gentleman who spoke before. I really, respect his facial hair. Game recognized game, sir, so love that. But I just want to say that we need the tax dollars. The community needs the tax dollars to help pay the taxes. Development's really important. Housing is really important. We need it in the community. What happened with that development in the city of Poughkeepsie is that we had a developer who got an approval almost 30 years prior everything changed around in the community in that time. And by the time they came back with multiple different iterations of the project, it was no longer something that fit the community. It was not going to bring the dollars that we needed to support the project. It didn't make sense. And what we did is we canceled the contract with the developer, and since then we've changed the zoning. And we did that because we knew, sure, a lot of years went into that project, but at the end of the day, it wasn't going to be the right project for our community, and we control our own destiny now. We have control over that parcel again. We're able to go out, look for developers who can partner with us to build the type of development that we want in our city. And I encourage you to just think about that as well. Don't fall for the fallacy of some cost, especially on a project that's been lingering out there for so long. I encourage you to listen to your community, and thank you for, I know it's not a decision for you to make as a town board, but thank you for your leadership and considering all these externalities with this project. And thank you very much for your time.
Yeah, thank you, appreciate your comments. Dave, you want to come up real quick? I'm sorry, Rebecca.
Yeah, I'm not. I just want to publicly apologize to Joe. Should not have done that. I just get emotional about this particular project because I've been a town resident for going to be 32 years. We love living in Lagrange. We're just concerned, okay, about a project. And you can see from all the different things that people have said tonight how the lack of transparency is real. Not everybody should be saying the same thing, but we're not. And I think you're heading in the right direction, like I said before, but I think that there's still a lot of education that needs for people in this town to understand what is coming. Because it is, to Joe's point, different than if you read the comprehensive plan from 2005, which I'm sure you all have probably. It is a lot different, and it's morphed over time. And so that's what I've been saying this whole time is, for a project this big, think about your own life. And would you make a major decision about your life with information from 20 or 40 years ago? I don't think you would. And so that's all I'm really asking for is let's just take a look, just make sure we're still doing the right thing. That's it.
Thank you, Dave. Okay. Rebecca?
It's 20 years.
40. Well, Dave had mentioned 1988.
Good evening, members of the town board. I certainly did not expect to make any comments this evening. I'm here to speak to you about a litigation that I've been handling for a number of years later this evening, but I would be remiss. I am still currently the attorney for the planning board, and I do feel a little protective of that board, and they're not here to speak for themselves. And I would just note that this project has had a full environment. I'm not here to defend the project. I'm here defending the planning board. This has had a full EIS, which means it was required for the Lagrange Fire District to comment and give feedback at that time during the secret process. And they are regularly given circulations too. So I don't doubt that the information being given is that they feel they haven't received everything they wanted or got everything they want, but to indicate that they haven't been involved in the process is not a statement that I feel is accurate. Thank you.
I'll introduce myself again.
No.
Not to be redundant.
Every time, Mark.
Not to be redundant, but I hope Mr. Kaiser, Commissioner Kaiser was complimenting me. I hope that's what was complimenting, not negative. But a couple of things I just want to state. Attorney Hall made a comment about the fire department being involved. There was a letter that was written by our chief at the time, back in I believe 2009 or 2006, with concerns about the town center project that was never responded to. So that's one issue. The other thing regarding former Councilman Luna, former Supervisor Luna at the time. What we're talking about is, again, we're not here to say that we're for or against this project. We're not here to hold it up or speed it up. But there's been a lot of changes and many iterations concerning this project. For instance, 20 years ago, we didn't have trees in the center median going through 55. So it's very easy to drive through the center lane with our fire trucks in an emergency. We don't have that anymore. The population in the town of Lagrange and the county has grown dramatically from the time this application of town center was put in until today. So there's been a lot of changes. The road structure changed dramatically, which affects our runtime. And it's not just town center that's an issue. We're having issues today without the town center being built, getting through the corridor between the high school, the rush hour traffic going to Poughkeepsie, coming out of Poughkeepsie, the drop off in the morning for the high school, and the entry to the high school in the morning, and the pickup in the afternoon and the releases with the buses. All we're saying is we're concerned that once you add 630 new homes in there, that averages 2 people per household, and many more cars, you could all do the math. We're just concerned that it's going to be even tougher for us to get there. And we don't just service the town center. It's not just this area. We have to get through the town center to service everybody to the east of us as well. And we have a firehouse that's to the west. Yes, we also have a crew to the east as well in Billings. But in a large scale emergency, or there's 2 or 3 calls at one time, we need to get there. And that's all we're talking about, just trying to find ways to notify people that things have changed over 20 years since this application was put in. It's gone through many iterations, and the structure of the town roadways have changed as well, not to mention the population. So, and I'm not here to debate.
Thank you, Mark.
You're a lovely attorney at all, but just want to let you know.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Would anyone else like to speak? Roy, please come on up.
I am not going to talk about town center.
Roy Kiewit,
Town Lagrange. Earlier, I think in November or so, a company came and talked about battery storage, mass battery storage plants, and I know Mark was here, and there's a lot of concern. Recently, Governor Hochul has proposed that the state is going to, or there's a bill that the state may decide where and when these places go in, and leaving it out of the towns or the communities. I know at the presentation that they put, there was a lot of concern and objection, especially because I believe in Warwick, one burned for 4 days without knowing what's being released. I'm glad Emma's here to hear, because maybe she can fight on the county level to try and get this, that the state doesn't decide that they can put one of these things in our community, because Lord knows what's going to happen if something happens, and it's going to happen. Something bad is going to happen. So I just want to, I don't know who's aware of it or not, but it's something I think we need to be aware of and draw attention to. And I think as a community and as a county and as a state, we should be fighting the governor on these things, because they're not good. Thank you.
Thank you, Roy.
Two questions. One is a lot of people online and residents and friends have asked me about the tax increase, the large tax increase for our town tax. Mine is 19.7%, which I know was all agreed to before you got here. But 2 things. One is, I think it would be nice if there was something shown as to what went up and compare it. I'd certainly like to find out where and why that happened. And 2, and I'm learning about this as I go, there's some kind of legal cap for how much taxes can go up. Is it around 2% or something? And why is it that much over it? The year before it was 4-point-something% for me. So obviously there are some things that can not apply to that cap. But I would like to learn more information about why it's 19%.
So the tax cap is a 2% tax cap, but then we're also talking about levies and things like that. That's a lot different. But to your point, obviously, a great concern of mine. Just coming into office, I think I said this at the second meeting or even the first, but first week in, and this comes out, and a lot of questions and concerns, and rightfully so. So something that I've been working on and continue to work on day in, day out is getting a full in-depth understanding as to how this happened with the town's finances and the decisions that were made, the budget that was approved, and how we got to this point. And eventually, when I gather enough information, I'll absolutely be bringing that forward for the public, so that they can be aware as well.
Thank you. And then one last thing, after last meeting and the discussions about the laws about recording members, I went and did some searching, and something came up that concerned me. I'd like to get some more information about. It's in the November 1st, 2023 agenda. Councilman talked about posting of a recording of an executive session. He also added that a few weeks before that, someone tried to hack the town e-code, and he asked all board members would agree to a lie detector test, and the board agreed. So I couldn't find out anything more about the results of that. Who was in
November 1st, 2023?
Yeah, that agenda. So I would like to know if lie detector tests were given and what the results were. I think as residents, we should know that.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Would anyone else like to come up and speak? Yes. Hey, Al.
How you doing?
How are you?
Happy birthday.
Thank you.
Just to go over what he did, I was on the board at the time, and he did vote because we had leaks of people recording us in executive session, client privilege, et cetera, leading both to opposing counsel in lawsuits, YouTube, et cetera. We agreed to take a lie detector test, which cost thousands of dollars. One person didn't take it in the end, and everyone else took it and passed. That's where this law came from, which you said the public hearing is so open on. Basically, it was to protect us as board members, because this is just horrendous. There was also, which you can look into and decide if you want to do, the ethics board recommended a bunch of new laws, so that had some teeth to put in. So you could look at those and decide if you want to make the laws on that. But that's what that law is for, was to protect town board members from being recorded, because it's ridiculous. As you know as well as I do, how are we going to do business if we're being recorded and it's being leaked? So that's on that note. On town center, Walter Artisan, Stacy Olio, and our assemblyman all wrote letters stating they thought it was really a bad idea for a newer planning board, or any planning board, for making final decisions on a project like this. Let's talk about how we got there. I worked my butt off for 4 years. I'm the one who outlawed 3 stories and brought that to the board. We were in a moratorium, ready to outlaw all development in with big developments, and we were planning on outlawing. We carefully selected projects to go through, which was the 150 units behind Page, which actually had some mixed use as far as lower income for people that lived in the town. So it was a great project. And when I decided not to run, everything got unraveled. At least half of what I accomplished, which really sad to me. The board voted in a 3-2 vote to give town center all the zoning changes that we are now facing with the planning board. They should have never done that. They should explain themselves. There wasn't even a discussion on it. It was thrown on the agenda. There's no, Alan Bell was pro-development. Town center is bigger than Eastdale by far. And it basically has no sunshine clause, which means any project in front of the town, every 3 years has to come back for a reapproval if they don't build. Town center did not have that, and Joe Luna was the designer of that. So he wants to see that the time has changed. I mean, he doesn't even realize we're trading 610 apartments for 40 businesses. That is not going to lower our taxes. Impossible. That's why Westchester taxes are double ours. You cannot do that. It's not a big good trade. We should have made a deal. We should have cut town center back. The board, who knew what they were doing, Alan Bell knew what he was doing, and I tried to do that many, many times. And at the end, the board flip-flopped, and I decided not to run. I had a sick mom. I could not run. And gave the zoning changes, all those zoning changes, with nothing in return, not even a senior center. So right now, we've got a new planning board to make the final decision. However, you still have some power. Without that pilot, they're not moving forward. And eventually, that's going to come to the board. And that has to be a board vote because it's not a regular pilot, so it needs a board vote. So with that, you have the power to pretty much put town center to their knees. But it's sad that 2 of you have already voted for town center and all their zoning changes. And those people should explain themselves. Thank you.
Thank you, Al.
Just one note for the record, the public hearing was closed on the surveillance, recording law, but I think we.
No, it wasn't closed.
Well, we agreed to keep written comments through tonight, which was the fourth. That's my, Christine, that's my record.
Oh, I thought it was gonna just
So
stay
we
open.
can still submit a written
Okay.
comment through the.
All right, I'll submit a written, but basically it's there basically to protect you. So if you guys don't wanna do it, don't do it, but that's why that law was there.
Thanks, Al.
Okay.
Thank you.
Alright. I think it's important not to hold the new board responsible for the previous board's action and actions. There was discussion about lie detector tests. In the words of Al Rabasco, the town didn't know procedure back then. And it's actually illegal for the town to even suggest taking a stress test, a lie detector test. And yet they did in a board meeting. It was live streamed. And that individual came and he did do these tests, and every person met with him, every board member met with him. And that individual who gave these exams, he refused to give the exam to Councilman Ryan. He refused to. And so that there's a lot of information that not everybody knows, but that was a big problem, and I don't think we should be holding any of that against the board now, or even just stop talking about that stuff in the past, because it was problematic. We're supposed to be looking forward, not looking at all the problems from the past.
Thank you.
Can I respond to that?
Hold on. I'm gonna break this up a little bit, sorry guys. Board, thank you very much. Guys, residents, I don't know if I need this or not. Great to see so many of you guys here. I'm not gonna talk about any of that stuff. Thank you very much for being patient for the highway department as we clean the roads. We're cleaning the cul-de-sacs, answered all complaints or site distance issues. Sandy left, but her Parks Department people were working side by side with us for 30+ hours straight, and then attacked again the next day. So I want to thank you very much for your patience as we clean the roads and staying off the roads and not parking your vehicles on the road. Besides a handful, besides a handful that got the tickets and one was towed, but we did respond to them, and your neighbor got told to park off the road. So, but yes, thank you again. Appreciate you guys, and it's great to see so many new faces.
Thank you.
Good job.
Thank you. You guys did great. Thank you.
Thank you.
I'd just like to respond to that.
Just keep your comments.
Yeah,
Yes.
the lie detector test was Rich and Ryan's idea, and it was unanimously agreed among all board members to do. The reason why Richie didn't get to take the test, because he wanted to record the lie detector test, which is against the law of lie detector testing. I'm just letting you know that's what happened, that's what he told me. Yeah, just my comment there. So it was agreed upon by all of us. Obviously, if somebody didn't want to do it, we would have never moved forward. And I don't think it's illegal to do. I mean, you're a town attorney, I guess you would know better than me, but if we all agreed to do it, I don't think that would be illegal. Right, okay, I get it. You don't want to touch it. All right,
Anyone
thank
else
you.
like to come up and speak? No? Okay. Do I have a motion to close the public comment? Motion. Second? All in favor? Aye. Okay. Now I'd like to make a motion to enter an executive session for the purpose of discussing pending litigation filed in Dutchess County Supreme Court as index number 2024-55860. Do I have a motion? Okay. Second? Discussion?
I have. Although I do not believe the situation constitutes a conflict of interest in the legal or ethical sense, I am choosing to recuse myself from voting on motions related to this specific matter because I am a co-worker with one of the principals of the plaintiff. I am doing so solely to avoid any appearance of impropriety. To be clear, I have full confidence in my judgment and my ability to act impartially. This recusal should not be interpreted as an acknowledgement of any actual conflict, nor does it reflect any concern regarding my objectivity. This recusal applies only to this matter. It does not extend to my participation in normal town business, future agenda items, or any unrelated matters that may arise.
Thank you. Do we have a vote yet? All in favor? Aye.
And just for the benefit of the public, just like 2 weeks ago, the board's gonna go in, we're gonna get a report on the status of this litigation. We will come back into the regular meeting. No actions can be taken during the executive session. I think anyone that stayed last time we came back, we were here for about 30 seconds to close the meeting. So
Yeah.
you're welcome to stay if you want to, but that's what's gonna happen. I don't want to waste anyone's time.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Actually, I want to get she's the county administrator. Yeah, she's county for District 2.
Oh, okay, well, what road?
Sorry, you're good, you're good. That's she's your legislator for the glass.
Yeah, okay. Okay, so she's your legislator.
Yes. I got a good
Aware very much about.
I think it's very
I would respectfully disagree, seeing all of the feedback that has been given to. No. So, I mean,
That's what I mean. But when I say bring the fire, maybe your guys is make sure that you can be able to develop. Now that you want to be here, you gotta make sure you can pay for the equipment to make it safe.
I don't agree. And I'm not for or against it. There's not a plan.
Yeah, so I'm just, thinking it is. And I know there's been a lot
I know
of.
that there's been lots of communication.
We don't have, we haven't put on our county business card yet, but I have one of mine from when I was running. What's your name? Yeah, the beer, my name. The Glen. Okay, I live right across the street from you in Slate Farm. I'm in a new development part of that, so. No, I moved in 2020. Where'd you come from? Somewhere else around here? I'm from the city. Shoot me an email. Shoot me an email. Appreciate it. I think the I'm not looking against the project, I'm speaking for the BB things to be managed. I actually want to space so much room and so large. We just need to make sure that our KMS is ready, and that we can put out the fire. We have 600 developers, they're gonna bring in 600 units. They need to make it safer.
I thought it was.
That's what we want that. I mean, if you look at the picture now, a lot of cars, but that's all okay. We just need to make decisions. The plans are talking about what's beautiful. It's changed in the last 5 years. Everything has changed. I love the project. I love it. We need a small walkable town center with commercial space. And we need a place, and we just need the firefighters to be ready to keep our community safe. And it shouldn't be on us as the taxpayers. It should be on the developers bringing in. I love it there, everybody. To make sure it's what did I say? I'm not. I live in a development. I'm not in that development. I live bringing good things. I want to bring good things. Which is why if someone wants to come to town, they're going to pay and make it, they're going to pay for the fire. That's the business. My fire taxes is over. My fire district is good.
So I say you want to talk.
Every district.
That's why I'm trying to get with your statement saying
so far, but it doesn't matter.
That's correct.
I'm not dropping like this. Depends who you ask, I guess. I go to,
You know, I went to a planning board, I mean, a town board meeting in Pleasant Valley.
It's long.
Not only long, but it was so bad. I met the supervisor, and I said, I feel like I'm in a CAT scan or something, and I'm only like 2 miles away.
It's interesting to be the
I had to make a right, and I said, Steve, cut it 35 inches. But it's good to know where you're getting senior stuff, and we'll talk to the people.
When you go to subdivision, the worst thing is
when you're fighting, don't do nothing wrong. All right, I'll see you guys later. That's all right.
The town says they go with it, they still allow other.
I got an empty board. Yeah, definitely. I'm gonna bring it up there.
Rush out, down 55, that's right in town. And people, we should have asked them. If they can't get through there, that's where someone's gonna be.
You don't have the Good night. You get to hang out with everybody.
I get to go home now, they say, you go home, son.
And then my husband said,
I'm walking out with you.
my representative guys.
Nobody can. Well, I just wanted, and again, that's what I was.
Yeah, so if you don't want to vote,
So like, the only reason you wouldn't vote is because of the town. How are you? I'm good.
Good to see you. She
But that's just voting.
Well, you're not gonna go argue with her.
We need you there. We need you there. Maybe don't influence it, but they're not voting anyway. They said they're not voting. The mere fact they said they're not voting.
I said, I'm not gonna get an argument with you. I said, I'm not gonna get into your butt. I said, I know. I said,
So they're never.
This is the
so what the old going over to town center, there was a host of questions they had. And we got crickets.
That was in 13.
That was
Also,
incorporating
what you're saying
But
are two different
I
things.
wanted to make a point with, because the time when I came here for the just, when they, have a good night.
What are you doing in here?
Waiting on you.
You're waiting on me?
Yeah, it's closed. We're
It's not closed. The meeting's not over.
They all went downstairs.
Yeah, but the meeting's still active.
Really?
Yeah. Oh, so this is executive session. During executive session, they leave, but the meeting's still active. They then have to come back and close out the meeting.
So then I can't go nowhere.
No, but if you're here for their safety, maybe you should be downstairs.
No, I know where I need to be.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. But you're not protecting anyone.
Right. I know what I gotta do. Thank you.
Okay, that's very interesting.
Mhm.
Is that you were screaming? Oh, gosh, I thought I heard you screaming. Is that? Okay.
I don't think anybody's coming. I've been downstairs. I checked every office. Ain't nobody there. There's nobody there. I could go on your camera.
Okay.
Now, they said they was having a closed meeting downstairs.
Mm-hmm.
I went downstairs, nobody's there. Except troopers in their office.
Okay. Are you Pagonis O'Neill?
Yep. So with that, I believe that it's going to be closed.
I know you want to go home. I get it. But the meeting is still active.
It's not.
It is. I'm sure you've been to a lot of meetings, but so have I. There's a procedure to this situation. They go downstairs, they have their executive session, they come back up here, and they have to vote to adjourn the meeting.
Okay.
They have to close out their executive session and then vote to close out the public meeting.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, hang out.
Hmm? Sir, I know that you're bored, and I apologize, but this is a professional setting. You're working, I'm working. I'm trying to film this public meeting.
Nobody in it.
But this is still a public meeting, it's still
Okay.
active, so I'm documenting it.
Okay, go ahead.
It's live streaming.
Continue documenting.
If you're gonna listen, I mean, feel free to go out into the hallway, but this is a public meeting that we're documenting.
Mhm.
It's currently being live broadcast, and there are rules and laws involved with that.
Mhm. I went downstairs, I couldn't find you. I found the troopers.
earwax though, don't do
You
that.
want to make a motion to enter the public meeting?
Want to make a motion to enter the, public meeting?
9:02.
At 9:02 p.m.
Motion from Councilman Ryan, second by
Susan.
Susan.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, and then a motion to adjourn.
And a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn at 9:03.
Second?
Second.
All in favor? Aye.
Okay.
Thank you.
We'll be back on YouTube.
So
Yes.
if you get yourself one of those little foam pads, it'll stop the puh sound on the mic.
Oh, cool, thank you.
Mm.
Yeah, you're right.
Yours is missing it. I thought maybe you took it off because you didn't want the big fuzzy
I
thing
noticed that,
in your
but
face.
Last week it was not doing that.
Yeah.
That's why that does that. Good point.
Because those mics are only supposed to pick up a small area so they don't get background noise, but then it gets all
I was
those.
wondering that, like.
Yeah.
Good night, David. Good night, sir.
Did you guys take minutes on that executive session?
Yeah, I'll talk, you go talk.